So today we're going to be working with just some practical things that we can do while we're sitting at our desks, when we're sitting in a traveling situation or commuting situation, just everyday life, having a lot of opportunities while we're just sitting down to relieve some tension. So we're going to start with this Courgeous ball. As you can see, I have it about quarter full, 25% full or so. So go ahead and you need to pull out that plug. If you have the straw, if you prefer to use that, or you can just use your mouth like I do. Maybe you need to release air. Maybe it has more air in it than that, and get it to about 25%. It's just an estimation, nothing exact. And then you're going to take that and just place it behind the low back. So finding a comfortable position, that's the lumbar spine. And just noticing as soon as I put that there, how my posture changed. It's a little bit dark. I hope you can see that. So it's just giving me the ability to sit up a little bit taller. And a lot of times to do that without having something there to support us, it takes a lot of strength, and that with weak muscles that aren't used to doing that, it really can cause some muscle tension and pain just to attempt to have good posture. So this is just something you can do in your everyday work and home life to help to improve your posture. And these days, I'm just leaving this in my chair, inflated to this degree, so that when I sit down, I remember to just pick it up and then place it there. So you can adjust it if it feels like it's too much, if it doesn't feel like it's enough to give you the support you need, you can make it whatever fullness is most comfortable. And then the other benefit too about taking that with you is you can deflate it and it's flat and it doesn't weigh much. You can tuck it in to any small carry-on bag or your purse or school bag, wherever you're going, it can go right along with you. Sometimes I even get into circumstances where I'm having to sit on a hard surface, and that can get really uncomfortable. So I've even been known to sit on this Courgeous ball as well. So if you want to try that, you're more than welcome to. So we're just going to leave that here if it's comfortable while we talk through practicing the pause. So you have a poster in the Google Drive that you could print and laminate and put up in your room as a reminder for you and your students to do this just really quick routine. This would be the great check-in, right? During those transitions that would include the breath. So let's just do that, practicing the pause. So first, just check in. What's your energy level like? Have your eyes open or closed here. Can you feel your heart beating in your chest? Notice how fast or slow your heart is beating. Notice your breath. If it's not regulated, maybe you like a even breathing pattern, a 3, 4, or 5 length breath that you could settle into. Notice where your shoulders are in space. Dropping them down away from your ears. Checking in with your jaw. Tend to clench repeatedly, even after having a reminder. Perhaps counting your breath backwards, if that's a technique that's helpful. Or maybe you found that breath holding between a deep inhale and exhale is the most relaxing for you. Just going to that breath pattern, that helps you to feel settled, peaceful. And then opening your eyes, just noticing how that was with your posture, having that gorgeous ball there for support. And then we've experienced using this to help to open the muscles in our chest and upper back and shoulders. Often our posture is very hunched and forward, looking at things like phones and other technology, maybe the computer, sitting at a desk. And so want to work with this opposite movement as much as we can. So here, going to inflate your ball to about 75%. So you see there's still some give, but it's starting to look more rounded. So go ahead and use your straw or just use your mouth to inflate it just a bit more. And this time we're going to just use it in our chair. We tried it laying down on the floor. And as you're ready, I know it might take you a moment to get it to the right size, and you can always adjust if needed, but we're going to place this pretty low in the back. If you think about the bottom of the rib cage, that's where the diaphragm, that big breathing muscle is. So we're putting this ball on the back side, like the center of the diaphragm. And then taking your arms back as far as is comfortable, just noticing how it feels across your chest, your shoulders, your upper back. And you can adjust as you need, up or down, wherever that sweet spot is for you to release that tension in your upper body. Might feel good to lean your head back or keep it upright. Just taking a couple deep breaths here, knowing that sometimes we need to release a little bit more tension, perhaps sighing through your mouth as you exhale. All right, and just pulling that gorgeous ball out, setting it to the side. And we're going to focus more on the lower body today, seated in our chair. So you can use those original size, smallest size if you like. You might want to use them in the tote if you choose to use them for your lower body, just because they'll give a little bit more pressure. The muscles that we're about to work with, the hips and the glutes, are the gluteal muscles. They're bigger muscles in our body. So sometimes it's helpful to have self-massage tools that are a little bit larger. If you remember, the smallest size is like getting massaged with the pressure of a thumb. The medium size is the pressure of an elbow. And the large size is like a fist. So you can switch to whatever feels best to you. Okay. I'm going to start with the medium sized. You might use it on its own or in the tote. It's entirely up to you. But I did take a hike the other day, a 12-mile hike in the mud. That's very slippery conditions. And I was feeling so much muscle soreness and muscle spasms in the front of my legs, in the quadriceps or quads, at about the 10-mile mark. So I just got a set. I had a set of massage balls in my backpack, and I just got them out and started to use them while I was walking. And so I was just doing some movement like this. And so just start on your upper thighs and just notice if you have any tension there. I could really feel it the other day when those muscles were spasming. It now I only feel sensation when I'm massaging that area. So the muscle tension changes over time, of course. And depending on the activities that you've been doing, you might have more soreness in the front of your legs or the back of your legs. We're just going to bring some attention to that today. So you can hold steady, you can roll. You might want to get up into that hip area. And in fact, this is not enough for me right now. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to the larger size. So if you find that it's too much or too little, you can always switch. And this is just giving me a little bit more pressure. And as you can see, I'd like even more. So I'm going to put one hand on top of the other to just be able to get a little bit deeper into these muscles. So you can do the sides in this position, which would be the IT band. The quadricep muscles are across the top. So just working, finding areas where you have sensation and focusing there. And if you're finding it is up toward the hip, maybe you can make your way there. Maybe it's both. I'm not having as much sensation there today as I am in that lower leg. So notice what's happening with your breath, keeping it smooth, keeping it deep, maybe doing an even breathing pattern. Okay, and then switching to the other side. And you may notice that you have more or less tension on one side or the other. And so when I notice that, I start to think about what kinds of activities have I done? Am I perhaps compensating for something on one side of my body or the other? Sometimes it has to do with how much weight we carry in an unbalanced way. Like maybe you only carry things on your right side because you're right-handed, or vice versa on the left side. So today my muscle tension is pretty even from side to side in the same areas. It seems to be the top of the leg, the quadricep, the side of the leg, the IT band. Less as I move up into the hip area. Show you working there, can work around the joint. And then now we're going to do something, you can actually just sit on these balls to work on our gluteal muscles. So you can decide and try, do you like the medium? Do you like the large the best? I'm going to try that large size right now. And I'm just going to wiggle around until I find a spot that feels tension, that there's some kind of release. And right now I feel like this is too big. So I'm going to try the medium sized, and different days it's different, and that's normal. And that's our job here, is to just figure that out. This is much better. So immediately I could feel into these muscles when I switch sizes. So if you're not feeling anything, give it a shot with a different size and see if that makes a difference. You can start to lean over as well and get more into the hip area. So knowing that this does look a little silly as you're moving around, no big deal. You don't need to do this in front of anyone, right? This is the beauty of having a virtual class. And then moving to the other side as you're ready. Just sitting down, leaning into it, checking in with the breath, perhaps taking a sigh breath if you're finding a tender spot. And then you can even move to the very top of the leg where your behind meets the top of your leg, and put the ball there and see if there are any sensations. You can move the ball down under the leg. And I'm just going to sit here. So the hamstring muscles are on the back side and of the upper thigh. And wow, I have not I've not done self-massage in this area since I went on that hike. And I am just becoming aware using my proprioceptive input, what's going on the inside, becoming aware that there's tension on the back side of my legs. So this is our job during self-massage. Just noticing, becoming more aware of what's going on in the inside of our bodies. So here I'm just moving the ball down. I'm feeling a lot of sensation, a lot of muscle soreness that I wasn't aware of before just now. So I'm just checking in with it, noticing how much pressure my body is allowing me to put there now comfortably. Just paying attention to what you're noticing and figuring out about yourself today. Maybe thinking of taking these tools home to use over spring break. Maybe you're going to be traveling. You could grab a couple and put them in your bag. You know how to use them on your temples and your jaw and your neck and your upper back and your lower back and your chest, your hips and your glutes and your legs. You don't have to take everything with you if you're going somewhere. I often just take one set, the one that I seem to be using the most, and just tuck that in my bag. I do always take the gorgeous ball though. That's really an easy one. So now as you can see, I'm just moving down the back side of the other leg, noticing the sensations. Figuring out, is it more tense closer to the gluteal muscles or closer to the knee? Okay. Hopefully you have gotten some relief. Lots of practical ways that we can take care of ourselves just sitting in a chair.